The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the 2nd half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Blue 60! I'm on. 40 got. 40 got. 53. Ready.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Aaron Lynch able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Bravo! Ready!
Looking to throw. Herbert. Man open. That's Calvin Ridley. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Hey, box truck.
On 3rd down. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Swift. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room.
Ready? Hey, 22. Smalls. No. Switch. Zebra. Check.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
First down, Detroit. Set. 180. We got tight left.
Now a give, right side. Swift. Preston Smith there on the stop. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Bound to lose one. Man left. Hey, we got 3 down. Hey, easy. Alert. Mike 50.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Crunch time, defense.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. It's a foot race. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On third down, Swift. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Looking deep for, and my goodness, another interception. Picked by Tracy Walker, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
First down, Lions on a pickup of 13. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Check, hot route, hot. Omaha, ready to move.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 48 yards. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. Prater for the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The throw over the middle taken in, and it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, Alpha. Get there. 26 Mike. 26 Mike. I got one. Go.
Throwing again. Herbert. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
50, stay 50. Set the tone, defense. 61. Matchbox light.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Hey, yellow 80. Yellow 80! 59! White 7! Hey! Hey,
after the run, now Stafford going to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taken in at the 22. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
ready to break.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
2nd and 3. Flush to his right. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
First and 10.
Go, go.
19-yard line.
Hit it.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off down near the 5. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big